Hi everyone, Tasha here for Cat Scrappiness, and today we're going to make a fun Halloween card using some new Cat Scrappiness items. The supplies we're going to be using today includes the new Creepy and Kooky paper pad. We'll also be using this fun spooky stamp set, orange and white cardstock, the Distress Edge rectangle die set, and I'll use the largest die. We'll also be needing a cloud stencil. Any stencil that you have will work. And then I'm using this cool fence die from the Crafters Essentials Halloween die set. And then ghosts from the new Boogie Ghost dies. And these are just so cute. I did pre-cut one just so you can see how cute he looks. So to begin, we're going to cut 2 more ghosts. We're going to use 3 ghosts in this project, but again, use as many as you want. So I'm cutting 2 different style ghosts. This set is really great because it has so many different ones to choose from, so you can mix and match to create a custom project. I really like that this one, the second one I cut, has these little arm openings, and you see they kind of pop out, so you can put little Halloween candy, or it comes with a broom. You could have the broom that he's holding and flying around. I'm also going to cut out a little bow, and then I'm going to cut out 2 of these little sucker die cuts, and I'm going to put them onto 2 of the ghosts. So again, it has these little accessories that you can just use with your ghost, and those arm openings, you can slide that little sucker in to look like the ghost is holding it. Behind the ghost, you can add any color you want for the eyes and mouth. I'm just using some scrap black paper, and I'm going to use some liquid adhesive to attach it behind the ghost. So then his eyes and the mouth cutout area is all black. This would also look great with maybe a purple or even a sparkly color like a silver or even a gold. It would look really cute on these little ghosts. But again, you can customize. You could also make each one a different color, which would be fun too. So I'm just quickly adding the black behind these little ghosts, and then I'll set them aside to dry. While they're drying, it's a good time to start coloring your little accessories. I'm using two of those lollipops. I'm coloring one orange and one pink. I'm also going to use the same pink color to color in the little bow. So I thought I would have the little bow on one of the ghosts, and then that ghost can hold the little pink lollipop. For the little lollipop sticks, I did use a gray Copic marker. To add a little more detail, I'm going in with a white gel pen, and this one is a size 10, so it's a little bit thicker. And I'm just adding some little accents and some little dots on the 2 suckers and then on the bow. And I'm just going in and making some polka dots. I had little lines, but I didn't really like it, so I just decided to go with some polka dots. I really like how the white and pink looks together. I'm also using my white gel pen to add little dots to the ghost eyes. You can leave this plain, but I thought it looked cute having just a little tiny white dot in the center of all their little eyes. And here's just a close-up. I just love that little bit of an added detail. Aren't these just the cutest? I love them. Okay, so I did pre-cut the largest of that Distressed Edge rectangle die, and it creates this really cool edging. I love how it looks. You could also go around this edge with like a Distress Oxide ink in maybe an antique linen or even a color, just to kind of give that detail and make it show up more. But since we're doing clouds, I'm just going to use some Distress Oxide ink in Hickory Smoke, and I'm using this cloud stencil to just create a sky, a nice Halloween sky. I didn't want to do anything that was too dark, so I didn't want to do black, so I decided to go in with this gray, and I think it's the perfect color for a little ghost card. And I'm just turning the stencil around so that you have different designs with the clouds to make them look like they're all different shapes. I love that with stencils. You can just kind of do your own thing, add different colors, mix and match to make all different types of backgrounds using the same supplies but in different ways, and that's my favorite thing to do. So when I was done, I was kind of deciding how I wanted to finish the bottom, so I just went in with more of the flatter cloud, And then I'm going to go in and add some color for the ground. And again, this light gray with the pop of white is just so pretty, but yet it still goes with the Halloween theme. Now I'm just using a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to go in with some Distress Oxide in Bundled Sage to create kind of like a grassy ground. I didn't want this to be bright because again, we're having this fall Halloween type of card. So this color is kind of not too dark, but just kind of goes with the gray, I think. And I really like how easy that is to make. Once I was done with that background, it was time to do my stamping. I thought this would look great with some white on black, so some embossing. So I just went over to my stamping tool, and I'm going to use some Versamark Clear, and then I'm just going to make sure I go over with my powder tool so that I can try not to get too many random white dots from my embossing. I just did some quick stamping, and then again I'm using some white embossing powder. And this one is one of the ultra fine embossing powders. This will give you great detail when you're embossing sentiments. And this sentiment is kind of large, but this is what I have, and it does work really great to make sure you have nice coverage and then the words don't kind of blend together. So I took it with my heat gun and just kind of went over everything until it was done, and I did put it aside just to kind of set. And then I'm going to attach a little fence. I pre-cut the fence just with black cardstock, and do you see how this fence lines up? Because it has like those two lines that go across, it lines up perfectly with the grass. So then you won't even have to worry about where the grass and the clouds kind of touch each other, because this fence will kind of be that middle ground and you won't even notice. So I'm going in with my liquid adhesive again, and I'm just going to line the fence up with the top of that grassy bottom that we created. To help me secure it, I took a piece of scrap paper again and just pressed down firmly. Once it was kind of all glued in place, I used my scissors to cut off the edge. I didn't want the edge to just kind of end where it did with those kind of like it's going off into nowhere. So I cut one of the little tiny fence posts off and glued it onto the edge. So this way it kind of, I think it completes the card a little bit better, and it looks like it fits perfectly then. Next, I'm going to my paper trimmer and trimming my sentiment down to size. I'm just kind of cutting it so that there's a little bit of a frame around the words, but it's pretty close to being right up against where the words end. And then I'm going to attach orange cardstock to just give it a really nice frame. I love this pop of orange color, and this is just so easy to do. I'm just adding some glue runner behind my greeting and lining it up along the bottom. So this way I just have to cut two sides and just kind of eyeing it up to get the same width all the way around. And I love that pop of orange all the way around. It's perfect for Halloween. I'm going to attach it to the center of my card, directly onto the card, which is some glue runner again. And I'm kind of putting it on kind of in the center, but I want to make sure I have enough space for my little ghost to kind of go around the greeting. And I did have to lift it up just a little bit on one edge because I wanted this flying ghost to be in that top corner. So I'm going to just attach him directly to the card underneath that spooky greeting, so it looks like, you know, he's kind of flying behind it. I thought that was really cute. Next, I'm going to attach the second ghost, and I wanted him to kind of be flying too. So I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind him, and this way he's kind of above that greeting. So we have one behind the greeting and one above it to give that illusion that, you know, he's flying around the sky. And then for my last one, I'm going to have her with foam tape as well. And I did have to change my foam tape because I wanted her arm area to open up. So you have to make sure you don't cover it. So I'm going to put her just on the grassy area. And then I'm going to attach the little bow. I'm using these tweezers from Cat Scrappiness, which really makes it easy to place these little accessory items on my characters. And it also helps me to add the liquid adhesive. I do tend to get liquid adhesive all over my fingers, but this does help me with placement. So I'm just going to put that little lollipop right underneath that arm. See, so it looks like she's holding it. And I love that you can have the candy, but it looks like the ghost is holding it, so it's not just on top of the ghost. And then I just added that second one to the flying ghost. To add a little more sparkle to the sky and a little more color, I'm using some liquid adhesive to attach some sequins to the new Bootacular sequin mix. Cat Scrappiness just came out with a whole bunch of fun Halloween sequins, and they have a whole bunch of fun Halloween sequin mixes and fall sequin mixes. And this one is so pretty because it has black, it has a really pretty shade of green, it has purple, which I love, and then some little ghosts. I decided just to go in with green and purple. And last minute I added another purple. I just love sequins in the sky, but sometimes I have trouble with placement, but I do love how they look. Just kind of, it adds so much sparkle to the background. Now it's time to attach my card. I'm going to start by layering up the bottom layers. So I'm going to use the glue runner to attach the pattern paper to orange cardstock that coordinates with the cardstock I used on the greeting. So this way everything goes together. So I'm just going to line that up, and then again I'm going to use the same glue runner to attach it to a white card base. This is a thicker cardstock for the card base. It just I think it's more sturdy, but again, use whatever you have. You could also just use the orange paper as your card base and get a similar look. To attach this center card though, I am going to use some foam tape just to have it raised up a bit. I wanted to make sure that you could see all the detail in the edges, and I wanted to make sure you can see all of those fun spider webs in the background. So I'm just going to attach several strips of foam tape. You could also just attach extra layers of scrap cardstock or a piece of fun foam to get, again, the same look. So I'm just lining that up in the center, and this completes my card. I hope you enjoyed it. I had so much fun making this with all these new Halloween items. All of the items will be in the description box below and on the coordinating blog posts. Here's another example of a card I recently made using the same items. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.